Hey there, Photo Universe. Alright, I'm calling this the Pentax K-5 Poor Man's Leica. Just a little bit of a thought experiment here, alright? So, okay. Now, here's the thing. I shot 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. I had maybe 20 years ago, I had an M3, Leica M3, a couple of Leica M3s, 4 or 5 lenses, back in film days, you know. Really enjoyed them. Interesting experience. So I know what I'm talking about here. I mean, I shot those for 3 or 4 or 5 years. I'm familiar with the whole Leica M9 rangefinder, well, not the M9, but the whole Leica rangefinder experience with those tiny little lenses. And I have to tell you, what prompted me to do this video was the fact that the Pentax K5, now I know it's, you know, a digital camera. There's something about shooting the Pentax K5 that kind of feels like shooting with the Leicas. I know it's an SLR and I know it's not a rangefinder and on and on and on. But I don't know what to tell you. To me, there's just something about it. Maybe it's these prime lenses. You know, these metal, tiny metal lenses. Really high quality. And the images. There's something really satisfying. You know, just like when I had my Leica M3s. So okay, so for kicks and giggles, let's put together a Leica M9 system, alright? Leica M9, not the fancy one, just the basic Leica M9, not the M9P I think it is $7,000, $699.99. Okay, so apples to oranges, here we go, K5 is $999. $1,000 versus $7,000. Alright, so start out with the DA 15mm limited, 4.0. $510. That's about the same size. That's in my other case. It's about the same size as this 21. Okay, so I know it's an f4.0. So let's save some money with Leica. Now here's the thing. Leica's full frame. This is APS-C, right? Okay, so the 15mm limited f4.0 is equivalent to about a 22mm in full frame. So let's go with the Leica 21mm 3.4. That'll set you back $3,000. So that's a pretty comparable lens, okay? I mean, it's slow, it's about 21mm. This is slow f4, it's about 22mm. They're both really, really sharp, right? Okay, so there's that lens. Now let's go with the DA 21mm f3.2. That's this lens here. Okay, that's equivalent to about a 35. 31, 35, in that range. So it'll do the same job, right? So let's go with the faster 35 f2.5. That's the slowest one Leica makes. That's 1,900 bucks. That'll set you back there, and in Pentax land, you're talking $510. On the Pentax K5 right here, I've got the 31mm FA, right? Okay, there it is. That's kind of a bigger lens, but the quality, what a fantastic lens. That's one of the sharpest lenses, and the color, just the images, it's well worth it. So that's like your 50. Right, 31mm in crop is about a 46, so it's about a 50. Now that's a fast lens, f1.8, right? So let's go 50mm f2, which I know Leica makes some faster lenses. They make a slower lens in the 50. But the 50mm f2 Summicron, that was I had that lens. That was a sweet lens. Okay, the 31mm limited f1.8, that's similar. It's in the ballpark, $2,300 versus $790. Okay, I think I have these backwards. These are backwards. Hang on. So this lens here, the 77, is $790. This is $990. Okay. So the 31mm f1.8 is $990. Now the 77mm limited, that's this one here. That's a fast lens too. That's kind of nice. Now that's 115mm focal length. Leica makes the 90mm 2.0. That's $4,000. Okay. So what am I saying here? Well, you can get a K5 with all these lenses for $3,800, brand new right now. Or you can buy a Leica M9 with those comparable lenses for $18,100. Yeah. So, I'll tell you right now, you know, you'd have a hard time if you had both systems and you were running both systems. I think unless you were making consistently 30 by 40 inch photographs, maybe 24 by 36s, maybe you might see a hair better shot. with the M9, right? So $18,000 versus $3,800. You're not going to see, and I know it's like golf scores, okay? The difference between Tiger Woods and you know, a good amateur is only like 10 strokes, right? 5 strokes, right? Okay, so yeah, but it's that last 2 or 3 strokes that makes him, well, Tiger's not a good example anymore. I don't know who the hot guy is, but you know what I'm saying. The guy who just won the Masters, the difference between him and a decent golfer is only 10 strokes, right? So, you know, that's that last 2 or 3 that, you know, and that's where the 18,000 comes from. So, but what I'm saying is, for this kind of money, you're going to have 99% of the experience, all right, for that kind of money. I mean, you're going to enjoy it. If you can't make good photographs with this, you're not going to make good photographs with that. I'll tell you that right now. So, poor man's Leica, Pentax K-5. And the other thing is, you can mount your really, really big lenses. Let me whip this out. This is something you can't do with the Leica, right? You can whip that out and put that on your K5 and go shoot sports. 70 to 200 2.8, previously reviewed here. So that there's no way this is going to go on your M9, and there's no way you're going to be able to do anything with it. So, you know, I'm not putting the M9 down, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's just, I think it's really cool they still make those. And if I won the lottery, I'd have one just for kicks and giggles. But, you know, I mean, I don't have 18 grand to throw into a camera. I'm not for a camera system. I mean, you know, maybe a car or something. But, I mean, you know, yeah, whatever. So, you got to draw the line somewhere. But for $3,800, if you buy all this, you're going to enjoy it. Okay? And it's going to come real close. So, and image quality wise, you're going to have fun with that. So don't get me wrong, you got 18 grand, you rock on. You're going to have fun with that too. You got 18 grand, you're having fun doing other stuff, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying it's fun to compare and contrast and show you that you can put together a K5 system that mimics what you would throw together with an M9 system and go out there and do it. Hey, you know what? You think you want that? Get all this, put it in a bag, and walk around with it and see how you like shooting with it. If you really enjoy it, go spend the money on that. This you could, if you're spending that kind of money, $3,800 for a test system, you can flog this, buy that, but don't buy this and then go, oh, I don't like putting these primes on there. This is a pain in the butt. And it's just a thought, just throwing it out there. All right, that's Ed with Photo Universe. We're having fun. This is just a fun thing. So, you know, in the comments, don't freak out, and you know, this is just for fun. So, all right, hey, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.